Hey guys, trying to think of what I wanted to talk about for today's video, and you know what? I've been thinking for a while now how frustrating everything is. So we got all these issues going on right now. Now, the whole thing about the Somali fraud issue. Obviously, the Somalians are not the only ones committing fraud. You know what always frustrates me about a lot of this is that when you have a pattern of issues going on, it's just impossible to stop it. We have dozens upon dozens of these care centers, and apparently the neighbors who work and live around these daycare centers, a lot of them look and they've never seen children go into any of them. They never seen anybody go in. You knock on the door during business hours, nobody's there. They won't answer the door, they don't answer the phone number. Hell, one of the daycare centers that has gotten a lot of scrutiny recently is I forgot what it was called, but basically there's videos on it all online where when people call the number that's listed on Google, it forwards straight to Tim Walz's governor office, which is absolutely insane. If you want people to call you to get their child in the daycare, then you would think you would want, the number to actually work. So okay, so are they just wanting people to come into the office, but they don't answer the door then? So it becomes very clear that something weird's going on. And especially, why does it forward to Tim Walz's office specifically? That's weird. Is it some kind of joke? Is it some kind of weird joke that I just don't get? And the answer is probably not. There's probably something going on with this business. And like I said, when there's a lot of questions like this, if you're okay, why are all these businesses, why are they all so sketchy? And then on top of that, why are they all run by Somalians? After all, Somalia is known right now for, one, oppressing the Somaliland people, and also they're known for, piracy. Now, to be fair, I think it was only 7% of piracy around Africa occurs near Somalia. Them and somewhere around Guinea. There's a lot of Guineas. There's 3 countries with the word Guinea in their name, but it's on the west side of Africa, in that kind of where the bulge of Africa is. There's that little area, and there's an island there that's also named Guinea. That's where 93% of the piracy in Africa actually takes place. So when the not the Ever Chosen, the Ever Given. The Ever Chosen is a Warhammer thing. When the Ever Given crashed inside the Suez Canal and got lodged in there, and that caused the entire canal to shut down for 10 days, however long it was. A lot of people had to go around Africa to deliver all the goods that were on their cargo containers. And people weren't as worried about Somalian pirates as they were about the Guinea pirates. But that's just because, Somalian pirates, it was so blatant, and, it was so close offshore that you could literally, videotape pirates, attacking ships. And it's just absolutely wild. But still, anyways, if you ask questions about, hey, why are these daycares so shady? How come there's no kids that ever go in there? Is this just their corporate office and they actually have a location where they take care of the children? And no, that doesn't seem to be the case. It just seems to be that these businesses are just not legitimate. So you ask, okay, why is it these daycares, and why are they specifically owned by mostly Somalians? And instead of like somebody coming in and being like, huh, yeah, that is weird, maybe we should like look into this, and maybe think about not giving them $1 million this year. Instead, what happens is they call you racist, shut you down, allow this to continue for another half decade before anyone even questions it. People will be researching it for literal years, trying to contact their representatives, talk to everybody available, try to report it to the FBI, ask, like, can we get at least some answers? Like, you don't have to specifically, if you don't find anything, fine. Like, but I would really like to at least know, like, what's going on with these businesses. So, like, can you at least, like, give us some transparency? And they'll just say, no, you're racist. And they'll leave it at that, and nothing ever happens. And it's just like, why, though? Why? I mean, I get it that there would be, like, people reporting businesses because they don't like the owner or whatever. Like, it's their, like, ex-wife's, like, new boyfriend or something, and the guy's just trying to ruin his life, so he makes a bunch of false reports or something like that. There will be a lot of false reports out there against innocent people, and the police shouldn't investigate all of them. But when you got dozens and dozens of these places having violations, hell, one place had so many violations that it was shut down. So they closed business, and then a new daycare was put in there. Now, you could make the argument that, it was already set up as a daycare, and therefore the next daycare could just come in without making any changes, and then they can set up their own daycare. But it's a little bit suspicious when a daycare is shut down for having a bunch of violations, and a new daycare goes in immediately afterwards. And was it the same people? Was it the same people, just with a new LLC or something? Because, my God, I mean, it happened quick, didn't it? That was a quick turnaround. One daycare comes out, new daycare comes in the next day. Maybe they just made a new name and made a new business that didn't have the same problems, supposedly, as the last one. Oh, I know where I am. I think I've been here before. Interesting. Anyways, frickin', there's so many barriers to report white-collar crime that it's insane. And then once you start reporting it, once you start asking for, like, it's like, hey, this business seems a little bit shady. And then somebody will look at the business and, like, this place is owned by a black man. Are you racist? Are you just reporting this because a black man owns it? And I could be like, no, I have no idea who owns it. I just find that their business practices are shady, and I think somebody should look into it. And they'll just scream racism and white supremacy and, like, how dare you try to take away minorities, like, well-earned, like, businesses that are being paid millions of dollars by the United States government. And it's like, wait a minute, what actually is going on here? And it is very clear that, frickin' the Democrats will bring in a population from foreign countries. They will offer them bribes. Like 90% of Somalian immigrants in the country are on welfare. 90% of them take more money out of the taxpayer pocketbook than they put in by paying taxes. And that's a little bit strange, wouldn't you say? It's just a wee bit strange that so many of the community is so poor that they can't, sustain themselves, that they have to have the taxpayers sustain them instead. Now, if it was 30%, 40%, okay, fine, sure, whatever. But it's 90%. And it's like, okay, so why is that? Well, okay, this guy's got 7 kids. That kind of explains it. Maybe that's the reason why. I mean, good on them for having so many children, but that's a little bit, strange, don't you think? It's like, you can't afford 7 kids. Okay, so that's just your tradition, fine. So, you can't afford frickin' a nanny or something. You can't afford a babysitter. Your wife stays at home because you have 7 kids to take care of. Somebody's got to watch them. Well, once your oldest kid is like 14, and at that point, they should be able to watch the other kids, right? Like, they should be able to stay alone, right? Oh, but maybe they live in a ghetto or something, so therefore they can't. Like the parents are worried about leaving them home alone or something like that. Look, I'm all for families having more kids, but again, it's just very strange that so much of the community is just so bad at making money, at managing their money, that many people, like, have you ever gone, if you went to church or something like that, do you think 9 out of 10 people in church are not self-sustaining? Like, they can't afford groceries? Like, 9 out of 10. Like, you only find, like, the 10th person happens to make enough money where they can afford all their expenses without getting a government paycheck. Assuming they're not working for the government. It's not good. Now, what about a generation down the line? What about 2 generations down the line? Are they still having the same problem? And it seems to be that, yes, they're still having the same problem. Like, even after 2 generations after the Somalians come here, they're still on government welfare. Wow, a lot of people coming out of there today, huh? Dear Lord. It's just wild to me that this stuff keeps going on and on and on. And you can never question it. Like, it's not our responsibility to have to pay for everyone's diapers. It's not our responsibility to pay for everyone's food. You should be able to afford your own food. I work for a living. I couldn't afford health care, so I joined the military. And it's like, now I got military health care. I'm still in the reserves. And again, everything I say does not reflect the DoD or any government organization. But it's like, it's not that hard either to get through military training. People pretend it's like the most difficult thing in the world, but it's not. It's not that hard. They try to stress you the hell out, but besides that, it's been relatively laid back for me the last few years, honestly. It's crazy. It's frustrating. It's just so frustrating. Like, we shouldn't have this issue going on for 5-10 years without anyone doing anything about it. Or they'll just call you racist for, like, wanting to do anything about it, for even wanting to look into the situation. I don't get it. But I do get it. It's because these people come in, they get naturalized. The Democrats in Minneapolis, the politicians, give them free crap, free government support, millions of dollars to these big businesses, who then give like their $100 to their friends and family, to their associates, to people who pretend to put their kids in the daycares. And they basically, the business owners and the politicians say, vote for us and we'll give you free stuff. We'll make sure you get your welfare. We'll make sure that you don't have to work. We'll make sure that you can have your 10 kids and your 4 wives or whatever. And, yeah, just do whatever we say and keep voting for us for the rest of eternity. And make sure we stay in power forever. Now, obviously, they don't say all of that, but that's what the intention is. That's what they're trying to do. So, seriously, that's all it is that it's just bribery. It's just the politicians bribing the voters to continuously vote for us. And don't worry, we'll get in somebody like Biden who fast tracks your citizenship so that you can vote for us so much more quickly. So we only have to wait, 2 years or 3 years until we get a permanent voting block. And it's just disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Like, why is this socially acceptable? To just bribe a bunch of people who want to be a net drain on our economy. And the wildest part too is that there will be people who get $1 million in cash. I want everyone to think right now. Think right now. How much money have you ever seen in one place? Even if you work retail, even if you, at the end of the day, you work in retail or you work at a supermarket and you're the one who's trusted to look at every single bill, to count how much money your business made that day. Like, how much money? How much have you seen in one place? It's probably even for the majority of you. Like, if one of you guys out there is a manager, maybe you saw like $10,000 all in one place. But apparently, there have been Somalians that will put $1 million, into a briefcase, get on a plane, and take that money straight to Somalia. Now, I gotta ask a question, right? Bank accounts exist. How much money does it take to transfer $1 million from one bank account to another? Say they take 10%, right? Which, I don't even know if it's that much. $100,000 or whatever. Okay, it would kind of make sense that you want to, like, physically transport the money. But the thing is, what happens if you want to pull $1 million out of a bank? Most banks would have a withdrawal fee where they charge a lot of money to take that much money out. Because to gather up all that money in one place in a safe manner without, like, drawing in, like, a criminal gang that wants to, like, rob the bank or something like that, right? To put $1 million inside a bank vault just so you can take $1 million out of the bank. There is so much logistics that goes behind that. Who the hell, I'm sorry, how the hell do you get $1 million to put in a suitcase and then fly it across the ocean to bring to Somalia? Like, I want to know the logistics on how that even happens. Like, where that money come from? How did you get that much money? Like, there must have been a lot of issues getting $1 million in cash to put in a briefcase. Why are you traveling with $1 million in a briefcase? Who? I want to know the TSA agent who scans bags all day, and then he scans the the suitcase that has $1 million in it. Like, what the hell goes through that guy's mind? I can't even imagine. Like, I would be so confused. I would be so bemused, so confused, so absolutely flabbergasted if I saw some dude go through the TSA line with a suitcase with $1 million in it. And imagine they leave like a bit of metal in there or something. Like, I don't know, something. The TSA agent has to open it up. Imagine you're in line at the TSA and someone opens up a briefcase to pull out, like, I don't know, a screw or something, a loose screw. And you look into the briefcase and you see $1 million in there. This is like, what? I mean, if that happens, I'm sure they take him into a separate room because holy hell, even they would realize that, you know, maybe you shouldn't just show $1 million to random people in public. But I'm just like, it reminds me of this social experiment I saw one time where this guy had a briefcase with like $1 million in it. And I think it was all fake money. It wasn't real. But it looked real enough. And then he goes up to a dude in like a public park. And he tells the dude, hey, can you hold this for a minute? I need to go to the bathroom or whatever. And gives the guy the suitcase. And then he walks away. Now, anyone in this situation would be curious. Hell, a lot of people nowadays would be absolutely terrified because what's in this thing? Is it drugs? Is it weapons? Is it an explosive device? So obviously the guy looks into it to make sure that nothing fishy is going on. And he opens up the briefcase and he looks inside and sees $1 million. Now this guy's got options. He can call the police because this is suspicious. He can take the money because, well, he's in the middle of a park. There's no surveillance there as far as he's aware. In fact, there's a camera in the bush nearby, but he don't know that. Or he can just sit around and wait for the guy to come back. And in this experiment, this guy just literally sat on the bench with a briefcase with $1 million and just waited for the guy to come back. That, by the way, that dude is naive as hell. That's how you know you live in a high-trust society. When in this experiment, the guy sat there with $1 million, I would be afraid that this was a cartel or a gang thing or like a mafia thing, and that somebody was supposed to come by and take that money. Or that that guy had stolen the money and was waiting for the police to come by. And they would be able to blame me when my fingerprints are all over the briefcase. Like, the first thing I would do, I might leave the money there, but I would call the police. I'd be like, there is something really weird going on here. I just got handed this briefcase by some random dude. I don't know what's going on. It's got $1 million in it. Can you send somebody out and, like, I'm uncomfortable, man. I'm very uncomfortable. It's wild to me. It's wild to me. A briefcase with $1 million. And apparently it's happened multiple times where Somalians would just go to the airport with a briefcase with $1 million and fly back to Somalia. It's just so weird, man. Why don't you use like a Swiss bank account or something? Like, if you're gonna do corruption stuff, or even if it's not corruption, why don't you just transfer it to a bank? So there's obviously something else going on, right? And you can't even ask about people looking into it because you could call it racist. I'm just like, what? Again, I'm just so confused. And the only answer is that these people are who excuse this are either insane, stupid, brainwashed, or they're in on it. Like, there's no other options, right? It's like, why do you care that someone's got $1 million? Are you jealous that they got $1 million? Just like, no one flies on a plane with more than like $200 in their pocket. Like, who have you known that goes on a flight to like Texas or Florida with more than like $200 in their wallet? Like, who does that? Most people just have a debit card or a credit card. Who the hell has a briefcase with like $10,000? Let alone $1 million. It's just, oh my God. Sorry, I had the yawn and I had the sneeze at the same time, and both kind of just fell through with me. You know, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm going in circles. I'm just like, I hate it. I hate it so much that we can't even ask questions. I hate it. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. So, I want someone to actually do something about this. It pisses me off to no end. It pisses me off. Like, somebody somewhere do something. And Trump stopped the payments to Minnesota. Because this is so irregular, this is so insane, that even a billionaire is like, yeah, I don't... Even the billionaire probably doesn't fly on planes with $1 million in a briefcase. Like, what? It's wild. Whatever, man. I'm gonna leave it there before I work myself up. This is so dumb. It's so dumb. I'm gonna leave it. I just want to rant so much. I'm gonna leave it there. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.